Well, 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 look who stumbled into the dungeon. A fresh batch of adventurers, eager to test their mettle against the perils of the arcane. And who am I? Just your friendly neighborhood kobold, here to add a dash of chaos to your little escapade. Today we're diving headfirst into the realm of magic, where spells are cast, curses are whispered, and more than a few eyebrows are singed in the process. But let me warn you, fledgling adventures, magic ain't all sparkles and rainbows. Sometimes it's more like a slap in the face with a wet fish. So strap in, you unsuspecting victims, as we unravel the mysteries of spellcraft. And who better to guide you through this mystical maze than yours truly, Chuckles the Kobold? Just remember, when it comes to magic, expect the unexpected, and don't say I didn't warn ya. Alright, listen up, you magic-munching misfits. Today we're delving into the dark depths of spellcasting, where every wannabe wizard thinks that they're the next big thing. But guess what? Magic ain't just about waving your wand and shouting fancy words. There's a whole bag of tricks to pick from. Abjuration, conjuration, evocation. You name it, we've got it. Each of these fancy schmancy schools of magic comes with its own set of rules and secrets, like a locked chest waiting to be cracked open. And if you're feeling brave, or stupid, depending on who you ask, you can even try to specialize in one of them. Because, why would you be a master of magic when you can just be a one-trick pony? Pick a school, stick to it like moss on dungeon wall, and watch as your spellcasting skills skyrocket, or crash and burn if you're not too careful. So remember, my misguided mages, when it comes to magic, it's not about how many spells you know, it's about how well you can twist them to your advantage. And trust me, the dungeons are full of fools who thought they had it all figured out. Okay, now you understand the schools, but I know what you're thinking next. Chuckles! How do those flashy wizards cast their spells? It's not just about waving their wands and chanting gibberish, though that's part of it. No, it's all about the ingredients, my clueless conjurers. First off, you've got your spell components, the stuff you need to make your magic happen. Verbal, somatic, material. It's like following a recipe for disaster. Verbal's all about shouting the magic words loud and proud. Somatic's the fancy hand wave and dance, and material, well, that's where the real fun begins. Material components can be anything from a pinch of black guano to a dragon scale. If you can get your hands on it, it might just work. But who wants to lug around a bag of fat poop everywhere they go? That's where arcane focuses come in handy. Arcane focuses are like cheat codes for spellcasters. They channel all that magical mumbo jumbo into one convenient package. No more rummaging through your pockets for bat wings or nude eyes. Just point, shoot, and watch the fireworks fly. So remember, my wannabe wizards, when it comes to spellcasting, it's not just about the magic words. It's about having the right tools for the job. And if you're smart, or lucky, depending on who you ask, you'll always keep a trusty arcane focus by your side. Alright, spellslingers, time to dive into the nitty-gritty of spell slots and all that jazz. Pay attention, because this stuff could mean the difference between a victorious victory and a humiliating defeat. Leveled spells are like the bread and butter of spellcasting. They come in all shapes and sizes, from your harmless cantrips to the cataclysmic spells that'll shake the earth. Cantrips, you ask? They're like parlor tricks of magic. Simple spells you can cast all day long without breaking a sweat. But when you're ready to bring out the big guns, that's when spell slots come in. Now, spell slots are like your magical fuel tanks. You've only got so much juice to power your spells, so you'd better use it wisely. Each spell you cast drains a spell slot, and once they're tapped out, you're left high and dry. So make sure you've got a few tricks up your sleeve before you wade into the thick of it. But here's where things get really interesting. Upcasting. Ever wish your feeble fireball could pack a real punch? With upcasting, you can. Just toss that spell into a higher level slot and watch the sparks fly. It's like giving your magic a shot of adrenaline, except with a lot more explosions. Well, most of the time, anyway. And here's the kicker. You can't cast a leveled spell with both an action and a bonus action in the same turn. It's like trying to juggle flaming torches while riding a unicycle. Sure, it sounds impressive, but you're probably gonna end up singed and bruised. So be smart with your spellcasting and remember that timing is everything. So my budding sorcerers, remember, when it comes to leveled spells, cantrips, and spell slots, it's all about managing your magical mojo and knowing when to unleash the fury. With a little skill and a lot of luck, you'll be leaving your enemies in awe and your friends in stitches. Okay, now that we are past the boring stuff, let's talk about the eternal struggle of every spellcaster. To prepare or to learn? That is the question. Let's break it down, shall we? Now listen up, spell slingers. When it comes to the art of spellcasting, there are two main approaches: preparing spells and learning spells. Which one you choose depends on your class and your personal preferences. Preparing spells is like packing for an adventure. You choose which spells you'll need ahead of time, like packing your spellbook for a journey into the unknown. It's all about strategy and foresight, knowing exactly what you'll need to face whatever comes your way. But hey, it's not all rainbows and unicorns. Sometimes you'll wish you'd packed an umbrella when you're stuck in a downpour of enemies. On the other hand, learning spells is like collecting shiny baubles. You pick up new spells as you go, adding them to your repertoire like treasures in a hoard. It's spontaneous and exciting, but it also means you might find yourself with a spell for every occasion, except the one you're in right now. So it's a bit of a gamble, but hey, life's an adventure, right? Now which is better? Well, that's up to you, my aspiring wizards and warlocks. Some folks prefer the predictability of prepared spells, while others thrive on the spontaneity of learned spells. It's like choosing between a well-worn path and blazing your own trail. Both have their perks, but only you can decide which suits your style. Now, speaking of warlocks, they really know how to mess everything up. Everything was nice and even, but they just had to be different. Instead of playing by the rules like the rest of us, they decided to strike deals with otherworldly beings and make their lives and ours more complicated. So here's the deal with warlocks. They make pacts with these powerful entities from beyond the veil. Instead of studying spellbooks or praying to gods like normal spellcasters, they're out there making deals with who knows what. It's like they're inviting trouble right into their own living room. Now when it comes to casting spells, warlocks have this thing called pact magic. It's like they're cheating the system. While the rest of us have to keep track of spell slots and levels, warlocks only have a handful of spell slots, and they're all the same level. They can only cast a few spells, but they can cast them always at their highest level. Talk about unfair advantages. But hey, if you're willing to make deals with otherworldly beings, you deserve whatever chaos comes your way. Just don't come crying to me when your patron decides to cash in on that favor that you owe them. And let's be real, if you're playing a warlock, you probably won't even have to worry about any of this because you'll just be casting Eldritch Blast the whole time anyway. And that's it, my unwitting pawns. But don't you worry, Chuckles the Kobold will be back before you can say Mimic Attack. Remember to do me a favor and hit that subscribe button, smash the like button, and share this gem with your fellow adventurers. After all, we're all in this together. You don't have a choice. So until our paths cross again, keep those spell slots in check, your wits as sharp as a rust monster's appetite, and your adventures as twisted as a Theobald the Beholder's lair. Until next time, I'll catch you on the flip side as we continue learning naturally.